Get something out the way. We're not doing queen shit. Okay. It's not what we're doing today. I mean, sure, you're a queen in a sense. However, not me. You know? Not I, said the fly. We're trying to light a spark in between some. Okay, yeah. No, I'm good. Thanks, though. Appreciate the thought. New. Okay. Today, though, we have one project only. That's not true. We might get more stuff done. State machine time. Science, man. Well, I don't know, but it's not really a science thing that I'm looking for. The goal is state machine. That's it, plain and simple. State machine. That the UI is kind of still in progress. What's the game plan? The game plan's state machine. Okay. So, state machine is pretty. It's a fun concept. Okay. So, basically, every like frame in a game, the game's at a certain state, right? Like players' positions there, right, and enemies here, right. Which basically, when you save a game, it saves it to a state. The current, like you load it back up, it goes to the current state of the game, right? So different things can get saved in the state machine, right? Like health, right? Position, that sort of thing, right? Level. Trying to think of. I mean, say rewards. No, it's not the best word for it. Mostly like, right, like the save state. Yeah, love me. Okay, but like progress in the game, right? It's all a unique state. Okay. Now the state machine I'm building for today, because it's just I need a small version. Get it so my guy can kind of. I'm gonna have probably multiple state machines. One that handles just the player itself, like forms and shit like that, and then not like in Pokemon, not the same thing. And then one that handles game progress. Two different kinds of things, and right. So basically, the one I want to make today, right? I'm gonna say right too many times because now that's in my head. State machine is I want it to basically just update, uh, a sprite. Really, that's what I'm looking for. That's kind of what I need right now. Right. I get it. Like it right. Get it. I like it. Right. We just need a simple one for the start. I get it. Okay. Ready. Below me. How about that? See that? Right there. That's your state machine. That's the state you're in. Okay. That's our game plan. Well, part of it's the game plan. The game plan is not for you to blow me. That is not indeed part of the game plan. Could be, but it's not. Questions, comments? Nothing out of the class. Good. We love it. Okay. I built a couple in the past. This one hopefully runs smooth. Right? Again, I'm not hoping. I'm hoping it's not a problem. Very well could be a problem though. Could be pretty much problematic. So, also, I think I figured out why I couldn't get the animation change. Mostly it's because I was stupid. But it is what it is in that front. I can't control that. So we are going to do state time. I'm gonna need nodes. That's basically how I'm gonna do this. Different nodes with different scripts. I'm gonna do this. I don't know if it's a yeah, there'll be an ability. Ability state machine. Okay, and then add a couple states. Just want it to be a node, and I want the name to be, let's go, Artemis. Okay. Let's go, Athena. Let's go, Aries. Okay. What if we kissed under the sunset? That would make us not heterosexual. And I don't know about you, but I am heterosexual. Except for John Stamos and Sean. Those are the two exceptions. And a coworker named Matt. And that's a different story. Now, what I need to do is write some script for all this. So, script. I want it in a scripts folder. Don't want scenes. No. New folder. Scripts. And ability state machine. Perfect. Perfect. Great. Now, I'm going to need it to be its own class. I believe so. We're going to find out together. If I'm going to try to do as much of this off of memory that I can. If not, like if I get stuck on something, I might just look it up. But that is a future me problem. Ability, state, machine. I don't know. My naming convention. I could be wrong on that. I'm going to need... This, no. Miller for mod. Well, you came in asking us to do some butt cheek tests, and I don't know if that's mod worthy. Personally, that's just a me thing. That's just kind of where I'm at with it. A list. No, not list. I need a dictionary, I believe. Dictionary, and then that equals no. Okay, and then I need to keep track of what state we're in. Current state. State. That's gonna give me a. No, okay, it didn't give me a. I thought that was gonna give me a. Yep, it is gonna give me a stuff. Could not find type state. Why though? I think what I need. We'll get to that. That'll be a future me problem. So I think I do need a class called state. Because I think all these have to be children. Like they need to extend state. But for now, we're just gonna go with this way. Export. So I need to set the initial one to be the normal. Bar initial starting state? No. Alright, can't find it weird. Initial underscore state. It's also going to give me the kickback, actually. Maybe I am starting with the wrong. I thought I started with this. Maybe I'm crazy. But let's make a new script, I guess. New script. State. Sure. State. State it is. But what would I put in state? I put... Muslim state. Sure. Great. I don't know where that went. Save as? Oh, you need to take your S in there. Save. Right, we'll go with that. Extends node. Come to my mom's. Miller is ungrateful. Come to my mom's. What does that mean? This is a class underscore name state. I don't know what we're doing. Okay. Then I need func. Is this just func? Is it underscore func? That was Tiff the Ungrateful. Oh. Func. Enter. You'd think I've done this 17 times, so you'd like to think I'd know exactly what I need to put, except for I don't. Pass. And I need an update one, I think. Update. I need to constantly update. We have a swimming pool, just saying. I can't swim. That's actually not true. I like swimming. I need to constantly update, so I need delta. That's not underscore delta. Delta. I need to be a float. Boop, boop. Pass. Okay. I think that's all I need for this, because everything, like all the other code for enter exit update, is going to be in the actual states. Like, not this. It'll be in a different. It'll be in like these will have their own code. That's just to give them the functions. So basically, it's teaching time. Okay. So basically, when I put extends, right? So if something extends something, right? It's 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 kind of like a parent. So like a dog, right? Every dog has it's 4 legs, right? There's certain attributes that every dog has, right? 4 legs, barks, right? Then you have cats with 4 legs, meows, right? So Garfield would be an object of a cat, whereas like Pluto would be an object of dog, right? Not every dog is Pluto, but every Pluto is a dog. So extends is saying like, hey, I'm a dog. Like Pluto would extend dog. Garfield would extend cat. But Garfield would then have, right? So Garfield does all the things that a cat does, right? However, Garfield, on top of that, also likes lasagna. That doesn't mean every cat likes lasagna, because not every cat is Garfield. But every Garfield, but Garfield is a cat. Why am I checking this? Okay, yeah. Yeah. I regret checking Snap, to be clear. Not every cat is a fat. That's true. Right, but that's what I'm saying. So that's what the extends is. Before we get too far into that whole mess. You know what I mean? I just didn't want you guys to oh, why is he typing? Yeah. I'm just trying to be it was a W snap, buddy. That's what the extends is. So every one of these classes will extend that state class, and so every one of those will have these functions available to it. Is basically the whole reason for this class. And then that way my state machine, yeah, kick rock, it works now. I have one. No. Oh, it's add export. I was like, why is it still mad at me? But it's not. It's fine. Your cat's a fat fuck? Hey, right? So your cat, right? So back to the whiteboard. Your cat still has 4 legs and meows, but an additional attribute that it can do, right, is be lazy. Right? I mean, most cats are lazy, but right, and that's your cat specific. That's what I'm saying. Now, your cat might like lasagna. Doesn't make it Garfield. Right? Could like pizza. It's possible. But back to this. So now This is done to the current state. And I need to basically get the different kind of states. And so the reason these are children of the ability state machine is because these are going to go into this dictionary to kind of be able to be cycled or chosen through. So I think it's func underscore ready. And then I'm gonna need to put the states in this dictionary. And so basically I need every time it loads, I need it to pop up. Like I need it to populate what states are here. And to do that for child, in and then get children, because it's just gonna grab all the children of that. And then if child is state, because I could put a whole nother state machine underneath it, right? So I could swap out a different state machine. So I need to make sure we're actually like I can nest them if need be. So I just want to make sure it's a state to put it in this specific dictionary. I will end up using a nested one later on, but now is not the time for it. So states, because I need to go to this dictionary up here. Right, this dictionary right here. I need to go to that. States, and then boom. Child name. Put 2 lower because I tend to not care about casing, I'm gonna be honest with you. And it's probably just better for this. Right? Equals child. So basically all this is doing is it's adding this to the dictionary is what's happening. Okay. And then I need child dot state transition, because that should be a thing of state, right? Did I put that in here? I did not. Signal. And so signal is what like how do I describe this? So transition on. So signal, right, is different events that can do. So we have, I say this is box, right, and something walks through this box, right? The box can give off a signal like, hey, something walked through me. Something entered is usually what it's called. Or object entered. Right? So that's a signal. And so this signal is basically what we're going to use to say, hey, we're changing the state. Like we're swapping it, tag teaming it. Okay. Save that. And I think that gets rid of my error back here, or my would-be error, to be honest. So I don't know if it actually would have been mad at me, but it could have been. Dot connect, because it's a signal, so you're allowed to connect. Change. Change underscore state. And now it's going to be mad at me because I haven't made that yet, but change state's going to be one of the functions in here. Then function ready if. Let me go ahead and make this func change underscore state, just so I can get rid of that. I'm gonna have to put stuff on it. Okay, it's not liking that. I think I have to actually put the parameters in here, which I'm gonna need old state and I'm also gonna need the new state name, because I don't want to make it so we can be switching to the same ones, you know what I mean? New state name. I'm just saying, you know what I mean, instead of the right. That will get me out of that string. I want a string on that, and then boom. Okay. Those are my errors for now. Then I'm gonna need if initial state. Initial state. Enter. And again, this enter is what we made with the right, like with the right. I read your message, mother. With the state class. That's what we did. And then current state is equal to initial state, which I can set this. So this export makes it so I can set it. So like here, right, the initial state, I have to assign it, and then I don't have any other states in yet. So like when I make these, I can choose an initial state, which meaning also I'm gonna have to do a new node. It's gonna have to be normal, which would be the initial state I'm gonna be putting in. But right now these aren't states; these are just nodes. They're just nodes. They are what they are for now. Okay, what other functions am I gonna have to put in here? Process, and then I need to get current state. Func process delta pass for now, and then we need func get current state, which I don't think it needs parameters, and then pass for now. We'll get there. We shall get there. Okay, so boom, boom, boom. Change state. If child state, transition. Okay, let's mess with this really quick. So for it to change the state, one, I need to make sure it's not trying to change into the same state. So if old state, right? So like when I press, when I signal in order to transition, it's gonna take. So here, whiteboard time. So when that signal pops, right, it's going to take into account two things, right? It's going to take into account the old state, right, the one that we were just in, and it's going to take into account the new state we're trying to get to. Okay, and basically, if these are the same thing, we need to fuck all. We need to do nothing, not a damn thing, right? So I need to make sure that that's not the case in order to move on. Basically, I need to make it so that does not a thing. Okay, but so actually that's not entirely true. So I needed to return still, like I still needed to tell me what state I'm in, because it kind of puts me in this neutral position. So this way you'll see what I'm talking about. It's hard for me to I don't know how to describe it. So but if old state is not equal to current state, okay, am I doing this wrong? There's a chance I'm doing this wrong. No, because I need to check that there is oh, okay. I also need to check. I was like, what? I've made this state machine probably 10 times at this point, just by restarting different games. So basically, what I need to do here, the reason for this is I'm just going to put return. Is if the old state I'm jumping from isn't the current state I'm in, like for some reason it bugs out, this will stop it. This will say, hey, we don't want to fuck anything up. Okay, that will stop it. Now I need to start making this whole new state system here. Should just copy and paste my old code. It's probably going to look very similar to my old one, if not almost fucking dead on. Equals states dot get new score state name that, And then I'm gonna need it to go lower since I like to make things lowercase. To lower. Okay, so that's basically gonna be when I change it, the new state is gonna get the state name, so that way it can actually go to the right. Like it says all the children in this, I set their stuff to lower in order to set this new state into one that actually matches up with one of the states. I have to set it to lower. But I need this to get the new name from my list of children. It sounds weirder than it actually is. If there's not a new state, right, basically needs to do fuck all again. Right, like if I'm not so that's to stop it. If my state is not if my old state and the new state same thing, that's like if I'm trying to switch to something that wouldn't be a new state, that just it makes it say fuck all. Okay. Right, and so then if it's my current state, these are all kind of just bug catchers, to be honest with you. It'd be current state dot exit, I think. Exit. Right, to leave that old state, right? Because you don't want to be in two states at the same time. Is basically how that plays out, and it's not a great time. New state dot enter. Enter. Is it new state? Yeah, new state. New current state. New state. New state dot enter. I think. For some reason that feels wrong to me. Current state is equal to new state. Okay. And then that's for the initial change state, right? Going from one to the next. So that's fine. And then I needed to basically continuously check its state, right? I needed to constantly look for if it's changing. So process is basically like an all the time running thing. So I need to always make sure I'm in the right state, basically. Current state dot update. Okay. And then update delta because that's gonna be the float of it constantly going. And then I'm gonna need to constantly return the current state. That's what I needed to do. That's what I need. Okay, good current state. So it's pretty simple. I'm just gonna return current state. Return current state. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward on that one. Pretty straightforward. Okay, so that should be done with this. That shouldn't be a problem at all. Okay. Now, however, I need to do a couple things. I guess not really. Yeah. I need to make it so that each one of these is its own state. So let's start with normal, just because that feels the easiest to fuck with. Touch script. Again, not in scenes. I want it to be in scripts. Normal that you sure run it that way. Built-in scripts, no. I need it to inherit state. Area, no. Timer, no. State. Is that an option? Yep. You needed to inherit that. Great. Then state. Okay. Class name. I don't know if class name is really that. It's just easier to call that way. State. Okay. It's easier to call that way. And then I need to export sprite as animated sprite 2D. And then I have different functions I can call. Enter. Sprite. Sprite dot play. Okay, and then here is where I need to type my stuff that I have. I think normal is the one I have. I think I have it for called. And then pass. I think this is right. Could be wrong. Could be great. Could be terrible. Who knows? Who knows? Then I'm gonna need func exit. Exit. And I don't need that to do anything. Because I'm gonna transition anyway. I just need it to be there. Func change? No, I called it update. Func update. And then underscore delta. And as you can see, so here, before I pass. Right, these are the same three that are in here, right? They're the same three things, which is why we're extending state. But we needed that initial class in order to make sure we're all the same. Because I don't want, so basically what I don't want is in this dictionary to have to check if it's a Artemis state, if is it like, and add it based on all those, but I can make them all be under the same umbrella of a state. Is what I can do. And I think that's best case scenario, to be honest. Now, on the update, I think I need to what do I need to do? What do I need to do now? I think that's just it for now. I will update it when I have more. But I can basically copy and paste this. Not scenes. Why do we keep trying to go into scenes? What are we doing here? I get it to understand that it's a script thing. Inherent state. State. Create. Let me just grab all this. Control C. Control V, except for this is going to be... Yeah, I know it's a copycat. Kick rocks. Aries. And then here would just be Aries. And then I think I might have capitalized them. That's not too important. And then you do the same thing here. Task script. State. Here. Boom. Boom. Hold on. I need to get rid of that. I need to delete that. Remove that. Then this is gonna be Athena. .gd. Is it under? I need to change that eventually, but that's fine. Create. And then again, same thing. Except for this is gonna be, I know, kick rocks, Athena. State. This would be Athena. And then one more. It's actually going a lot smoother than I thought it would. At least I actually haven't tested it yet, to be tiny knock on wood kind of thing. Boom, scripts, Artemis, open. Boom, 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 create. Class name, I know, don't say anything. Artemis. State. Artemis. Okay. Now I think animation stuff. Sumner. I have Athena, Artemis, Aries. Keep them same kind of thing. But normal. Now, kind of what I need to decide here is I need to add inputs for each ability. Now, here's my problem. I guess I can test this out and then fix that problem later. But the issue I'm gonna run into is this. So for all 3 patrons, the same button, we'll say it's Q, is gonna be the patron, right? Right now, the only 3 I have are the patrons, right? I'm trying to sit down. I've been standing all day. Okay. Are the patrons, which isn't a huge deal. However, I'm gonna have to keep track of which patron they chose, right? Patron choice. I'm gonna have to keep track of that, which not a huge deal, you know, but not fun either. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. As of right now, temporarily, we'll do Q is Aries. We'll do E is Athena. We'll do R is Artemis. And then we'll do space equals normal. Just so that way, for right now, I can differentiate between them. I'm not going to be able to, like, they're all going to be they're going to overlap each other with the same button. But for right now, just to test the state machine, I could do it this way. Because I'm going to have to keep track of which patron they are during the thing. So, during the playthrough, but that's a future me problem. So let's go add some inputs. Coding. So here, if I go project settings, input map, add a new action. I'm gonna type something. We'll go Aries. Let's go Aries for now. This will all get tweaked out and stuff like that, so not a huge. Oh, and I put Aries as Q. Okay, cool. And then I need Athena. And I put Athena as E. E. Okay. And then Artemis. And I put Artemis as R. And then normal. Add normal, I'm putting as space. Okay. So that should make it so I can swap in between them. And then it should just be fine. So once I enter, try to play, but when I need to update, instead of pass, now I start actually making it so I can switch. So I think it should be if. This input if input dot is dot it. Am I crazy? Dot is action just pressed. It's equal to Aries? Is that right? I don't know if that's right. State dot transition dot emit, and then I'm gonna put self because I need to put the old state. All right, and then the next state would just be Aries. I don't think this is right up here. Oh, I think this is the damn. I hate this part because this is dumb. I don't like the way that this looks. Is input dot is action. Yeah, it's this thing. I'm not a fan of how this looks, but I can't control that. It's Aries. Something Aries. I think that's pretty straightforward, and I can just copy and paste this for Athena. Control C. Control V. V. Nope, I like that. Let's take this down. Do I need to put one for myself? Is that a thing? So what I could do is that if we click the button again, it disconnects it as well. So let me do one more. No, because that's normal. Normal shouldn't, it shouldn't matter. I'll put it just to be safe, I guess. I don't think I should. I think I should need to. Athena. Artemis. This is normal. This will be normal. Now, going from normal, initial state is going to be normal. Let me test this out because I think going from normal, I should be able to just, yep, play on null value. Is that not what I call it? That's not great. Animation. Do call it just normal. I don't know what's wrong with that at all. Why did it break it? So if I'm normal, if I'm normal, I have to assign the sprite. I gotta do that for all of them too. Okay, that should fix that problem. So I can at least test. I'm not gonna be able to go back to a different one, but like Q gives me that. No, and I can't go back because I'm just stuck in that, right? Which makes sense. Because I haven't coded it for the other states yet. So basically I can copy this. Control C. Let's go into Artemis. The update. Control V. Except for when this, I'm going to put normal. Because I think if they're holding that ability and they want to get out of it, they can just press their own button again. That makes sense to me. But if it doesn't to you, I get that, which I can fix at some point. I'm all this is gonna get played around with, but as of right now, Aries is the last one. Okay, now I think I should be able to swap all the way in between them. Okay, so we're here. Okay, we go Q, we're Aries. Perfect. We go Q again, we're done. Okay, we go Q, Aries. Click E, we're in Athena. Click E again, we're normal. Go E, R. Yeah, so we got that. We got that moving around. Quick, simple state machine. There's a lot more that can go into it, like player health, positioning, and metric F ton of stuff. But that's the biggest. This is the biggest thing so far. Now, what I do need to do is, so I guess here's where we're at here. Here's where we're at. So basically, you load up the game, right? Load game. And then you end up, you're gonna have 3, I want to say saves, right? 3 saves. It's gonna be your Ares one, your Artemis one, and your Athena one. And you can enter each one of these saves, right? And then I need to keep track of 1, the progress in all of them. And then 2, I'm gonna have to keep track of which save you're in. Because depending on the save, the button's gonna do a different thing. Like Q could just be it for all of them, like for getting into your primary patron's ability. So it just doesn't really make sense for me to not have to keep track of it. This is kind of where I'm at with that. Okay. Now, I'm trying to think of how to handle it. Because there's a couple different ways. I don't really want to build the fully fledged out state machine right now. However, I also don't want to be done with this state machine. I need to find a middle ground of stuff I can get done. So I need to do, invulnerable is going to be one. Right, that's going to be a quick and easy one. Trying to think of what other, I mean, I could do the invulnerable, right? Because I'm gonna have to do it where no matter the state I'm in, if I dash, I should be invulnerable. But how do I could end up, I could just put this in each one of them. Can I though? I think so. I think this can just go in each one of theirs. We're gonna find out here directly. See. Give me, yeah, see, that should fail. Oh, because in I have this. So maybe that needs to go on all of them too. Speed's not defined here. Of course it's not. Okay. Is this gonna impact it? Like, will it go to an upper level of it? Will it go to an upper level? What if I went like this dot speed? Aha. This should work. And dash hammer start. Dot speed. Should work. Save. But that's just a normal. I'm gonna need. Because I'm also gonna need to do state transition. Transmit. See, I'm gonna need to go back to it though. That's a problem. Because there's so much that's gonna end up going into this. So, oh, you guys can't even see what I've been doing. That's tough. That's my fault. So basically, I added here. Basically, I added this line of code that we were messing with the dash before as another one of the states kind of thing. Oh, but see, I don't have invulnerability as one of the states. So I'm gonna have to do that. But I might have to have invulnerable with the whole thing. I think it should kick you out of your ability. If you're gonna dash, it kicks you out of the ability. Yeah, I think that's best case scenario. If you, I'm trying to think of a time where you'd wanna, like, where you should be able to stay in your ability. I don't know what that looks like. Because if you're the Athena one, you could dash into something, then pop your ability. But how would I play that out here? I think actually, because I can just play the other sprite. That's not a huge deal. But how do I make it so you can't get hit? How do I make it so you can't get hit? That could be a feature me problem. QER, and then maybe, yeah, I don't know, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. The problem is I have. What if one's just a passive? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then get something that just helps with it. How do we go about this? Because if I'm the player and I choose Aries, right? You end up with 3. So you end up with 5 abilities total. If you're Athena or Artemis, you end up with 6 abilities total. Unless I give each of them one passive like I give Ares one passive, and then I give the other two passives. And Ares can kind of be hard mode, like a harder mode. I don't hate that at all. Each gets one passive. Like Ares gets one passive, the other ones get two, so the abilities are 1 through 4. You don't really have to lift your hand, like you don't have to press too much on the key. I like that. I like that a lot. I don't hate that. What one passive should that's an off stream me figuring out thing. So what I can do, so I can 1 through 4 it, 1 being your primary, like your patron, and then 4 ending up being a final one for each of them. What could be? I guess I need to focus on the state machine. That's a future me thing. So the state machine, the dash, kicks them out of the state they're in. Okay, Millie, you want to see the different states? So this is. Oh, I'm busy thinking to myself here, so I can only show you this. Okay, so you have the little guy, right? Boom, Aries, right? Big blood red. Only wanted to see one thing more, and that was probably me naked, and I get that. Boom. Okay, so there's Aries. This one is Athena, like a gray, like almost an owl gray kind of thing. And then here would be Artemis, like a moonlight blue. And then there's gonna be more. And such. Look at that dash. You said dash? You can't teach that. Bam. Yeah. And they just know chilling. He's the goat. That's what it is. Right now, I'm trying to think of how to do. So the dash, like right, you see, like when I move fast. Right, hold on. Zoom. Shift. Zoom. You said zoom. Oh, I completely just fucked something up. That's fine. I don't know. I broke something. Shift. Boom. So if you don't quit saying fucking right. So yeah, that kick rocks. During the dash, I want them to be vulnerable. However, I think you should kick them out of their state. And if they kick them out of their state, they should go into this invulnerable state for, I don't know, a little bit, but it's going to be timer based for this state and not like input based. And it being timer based puzzles me. Because I'm not aware of how to make that happen. 5-second max. Well, it's basically just like a quick escape, right? Like right now I have the sprint being a half a second. Like you saw the distance that you go in that half a second. So if you go through, but I also don't know how. I'm okay with it being a window after the actual escape. I'm not really bothered by that. My question is, how do I make it so the game realizes they're invulnerable while kicking them to the normal state? Actually, hear me out. 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 Whiteboard time. What if, okay, you're in a state, you're in any state, doesn't matter, right? I'm gonna keep trying to write. It's gonna piss me off. The dash happens, right? I get the dash. I keep the dash logic with the summoner thing, but I add to that button the fact that it takes you back to normal state. Because I don't want you to be able to be in your ability and become invulnerable, because that feels cheap. Feels cheap. Which I think I can make work. So basically just get rid of this. This can go fuck itself. And I think it should, honestly, I don't hate if I just copy this. Because realistically, if they try to dash when they're not supposed to, like not allowed to, I like punishing them with it. I'm okay with the punishment of losing the fact that you're in the ability. I'm okay with that punishment. So I think I just take this and I put it in all of them. And then theoretically, when I dash, it should put them back in normal state. There, so kind of a cancel ability, which results in an invulnerability. That's kind of basically how it's a trade-off. You're losing your current ability, right? And it flicks the timer for the reset on it. And then you basically get fucked. Not my problem. Kind of where I'm sitting at that, right? And it would be, I leave the dash in here. I set invulnerable to true. Invulnerable is equal to true. I know it's not going to be a thing, but then, so this is just, it's going to be half a second. 12. Invulnerable equals false. So it's a half a second dash. And it's not my problem. Let it, like you said, let them burn. You get away for that half a second, but after that, you're getting fucking hit. So realistically, you can't see. I need to be better at going back into the coding screen after my whiteboard screen. I get too caught up in the whiteboard. This is my problem right now. But I fuck with the whiteboard. I like the way my streams sound. I'm a big fan of going back and forth between the stuff. I don't hate it at all. Big fan of the concept. Could it look a little prettier? Maybe. Probably. Could the grass be greener? Yeah. Could the sky be more blue? Probably. So now, realistically, I take this and keep this in here, set the invulnerable, but with each one of these, when they press the dash one, it sets them to the normal state. That's the game plan right now. Let's find out if it works. So here, right? So boom, it's normal, right? It's gonna be right, and then but if I'm in Aries, okay, in Aries, I dash and I'm back in the normal state. I love it. I think that's the wave. I think you get your half a second of getting the fuck out. I think you get your invulnerability for the said half second, and then I think it resets the timer on that ability. I think that's it. Plain and simple. I think that's it. I think the invulnerability thing's kind of set on how that's going to play out with the dash, right? So I should also be able to be like Athena. I dash and I'm not Athena. We love that in C-Tree. I think that's the move. Questions, comments, concerns. Wave for sure, yeah. I appreciate you being here. even though you're on vacation. Just wanted you to know that. What else? Okay, so I tried. Let me just double check with Artemis. Boom, also works. Also fucking works. It's fantastical. Even when I'm just in normal, it's gonna keep me normal. That makes sense. Right? That's just very obvious. And so I could realistically go through and set all the different states up for each god. But I can copy and paste this for the next fucking the other god. It's not a huge deal. However, it's not as fun of a thing. But that's set. That's progress. That's good progress. It's very good progress. I fuck with it heavy. Fuck with it heavy. Okay. Q. Dash out. No longer Q. I like it. I like the trade-off of being invulnerable and losing the ability and having to reset the timer on it. But now I gotta figure out how I make it so that. So I'm gonna have to have global variables. So here's what's gonna happen. So it's really quick. Whiteboard time. Hopefully I don't fucking forget I'm in whiteboard time. I'm gonna have global variables, right? About if the state's available, right? Because I don't. Damn it! This whole right thing is gonna be in my fucking head constantly. So different states, right? Different states, if you were just in one, and the timer's not run out, I can't let you in there. So there's gonna be a global like control where you're sitting there, and if you use set ability, it flicks it to false for availability. So it'll be like Athena avail, right? Athena avail, right? It'll be like that, and it'll set it to false. Then a certain timer counts down, and then it'll be Athena avail equals true. And basically what it'll do is when you go into like one of these, right, it'll be Athena, and then I will check. It'll be if Athena avail, it'll then, if it's available, it'll do it'll be like, I don't know, state transfers. I don't know off the top of my head, or whatever it is to make it so it's Athena, right? To keep it at Athena. But if it's not available, because this will be the first thing that happens, if it's not available, right? So else, it kicks it out. Says go fuck yourself. That says pass. Just make it. Because I don't know exactly off the top of my head which one it'll. I don't know. There's some if statement. I'm gonna have to go look because there's an if statement similar to this that would make it interact the way I want it to. I think that's the if statement. I don't remember the if statement off the top of my head. But it's very similar to that. You basically check if it's available because I need to set up the global. I set up the global variables. So I think it's called a control node or a control script. think it's a file. How do I make it a control? I don't remember. Oh, I think I end up going like project settings, globals. Then I add a global. So I can go like global variables. Add. And then I do is control one of them? I don't control. Oh, that's the UI. No, I want to stick it with Node, but I do want to move where it's at. Scripts. Open. Create. So it's a global thing. Anything in there I can access wherever, whenever. So, and close out of that. I can run into Athena. I can do if it's on this. Is it on this? I don't like if I don't know global variables dot. I need to actually go into that actually. Leave me alone. Go away. Global variables. I don't see it anywhere. Change scripts. Global variables. Here, I set variable Athena score available to let's say true to start off. Right, let's go true. And then if global variables dot Athena available how do I'm trying to think of how I do this. Now, what do I do here? If global variables, I need to change the name of that probably, to be honest. You guys can see again. Fuck, I keep fucking that up. Okay. So if it's available, I think I said can I keep track of my state in the global variables? Is that what I need to do? Because basically I need to make it so if it's available, I think I could just do state edition dot emit so Athena else state tradition dot emit self common normal. That's just not the right normal. Is that right though? I guess we're gonna fucking find out. Cause this could crash it. not crash seed. Okay. That's fine. But now I need to do something to test whether or not it's... Huh. Do I want to be able to go from one ability to the next? I don't know. I do not know, Sam. I am. I do not like green eggs and ham. I think you should be able to combo into that, but I think once you leave that state, there should be the cooldown. Probably need a timer for that. Right? I'm gonna need a timer. Which I think should be fine to do a... I'm trying to think. Like, how do I do the timers? I could do it based off... If I do the timers based off the ability closing... With the global variables, I'll be able to set them there as well. So like in the Sumner script, I'll basically be handling the whole fucking the abilities themselves in the Sumner script, not in the state scripts. And so with those, I can set availability instead of in here. So I got set availability in the Sumner script. However, some abilities are very different than others. For example, Athena's ability being a counter, there should be a cooldown. Like this shouldn't be like, hey, you get the ability, you click it, and then the next time you get hit, it does it. I want it to be, hey, you click it, and then for the next 5 seconds, the next time you get hit. So I'm gonna need 2 different counters for it, where one of them is the ability length, and then one's the cooldown onset abilities. Or onset ability. Like one will just would be called like Athena power, and then one would be called like Athena cooldown. I think that's the best way to go about that. Can't really think of a different one. That's how it's gonna have to be. I don't hate that idea, but I also don't think that's gonna be. I can make the timers now, but that's more. I need to prototype the abilities. That feels more like part of that, which I also feel like I'm doing right now. Prototyping. Nah, not really, because that's more of a specific. This is more state machine stuff, but the state machine is impacted by the. It's all tied together, right? So how do I go about? This is just me talking, not inventing, but like thinking out loud, which is okay.
what happens next? And so if I click on the Athena ability, so I don't want it to be. Yeah, I kind of want it to be like every time you click on it, like you either use it or lose it. Except for with that same thought, Artemis's ability being a bow and arrow, I think like a projectile. I think it should be active until you use like in my head you get 3 arrows per activation, right? Like one, two, three. Like you could shoot, like you click and to shoot on the enemy basically. Um, and if you hit, regardless of if you hit, but after you hit shoot that last one and say you don't dash, you could technically stay in the Artemis one forever. So amongst that same vein, is Artemis just gonna be easy mode? I could make Artemis because I could all three of them could have different because Ares is gonna be the hardest mode, like the hardest path to take. It kind of by design just feels like it's you know inadequate the word? No. It is appropriate for that one to be the harder one. With his kind of shtick being brute force kind of thing. Bloodshed, all that. So I don't hate it at all to be a don't hate that at all. And then Artemis would be easy mode, and then Athena can be a little bit harder, which is why you have to type like Artemis's ability can be as neat like you click it and then you kind of get forgiveness for how long you're in it, not a huge deal. Where Athena's, I want it to be more of a like, hey, you have a few seconds to make this count, and then Aries is a right away kind of thing. I'm gonna be on the phone for 2 seconds.
Okay. I'm no longer on said phone. I forgot where I was, what I was doing. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Here's the thing. I can either say screw it, start the next venture into this thing, and be on here for the next 3 hours just doing stuff, or I can get some sleep. That is my other option, and just have a really long stream tomorrow, like tomorrow during the day. Those are my options. I don't hate either option. You know, don't hate either option. I was probably talking about timers, right? I think I'm gonna need timer for either. How do I want to do that? Is it like a main ability cooldown? Is that the... No, because they need to be different per ability, right? Like the Artemis ability can't have the same cooldown as the Ares ability. Just can't. Doesn't make sense. But I have to balance them all. I don't know I'm gonna do the Ares ability. The Ares ability is gonna be the one that I think gets me the most amount of grief. Because I'm gonna have to balance being able to do that rage thing and then being able to tank the hits. And there's just so much that's gonna go into that, like, nuance. But do I care is the question. A little bit. The answer is a little bit. I do care. I do indeed care. But I have what I wanted working. So regardless of what I choose to do for the rest of, if I keep it going or not, I have this. I have the abilities that I want going. I have the dash to stop said abilities. What I could work on is making it so that the one button works on them all. I just can't do that for now. What I need to do, so I mean, I can get every ability working, like the animation for it, not the actual ability itself, clearly. But if I can get all the animations working for everything, which isn't a big deal. And I also need to make sure I get rid of certain, like, this is just not gonna be a thing, right? The animation, like all of these aren't gonna be a thing. I can't highlight, so trash. Because we've decided that it's just gonna be going back to the normal. Going back to normal, but I also want to make it. See, that's the problem. Is I want to make it so that it's obvious. Again, you cannot see my damn screen. I want to make it so it's obvious that I'm invulnerable. Do I need to though? Is a question that I don't really have an answer to. Oh, it looks like my bitrate has taken a shit. Hello? Yeah. I think my thing's dying. I think my thing is dying due to I think my thing is dying all the day long day. This is about the time my internet starts to go out. Hello? I can't tell if my
My still is messing up. I can't tell. Could be, could not be. Who knows? I think my stream's shocked because it says unstable. I think my internet's giving out on me. My internet is giving